The curriculum topic study is the key assessment for this course, and the key assessment is on content. Now that's a little bit different than some of the other key assessments you've done. This one is specifically designed to improve your understanding of how you build content knowledge as an instructor. So it is not a unit, it is not a lesson plan, it is almost like a paper about whatever topic you are exploring, but instead of just the content about the paper, it's also about how students learn that content, pedagogical implications, misconceptions, the sorts of things you need to know as a teacher in order to really be able to teach a subject well. I wanted to make sure that everybody understood what's all in their curriculum topic study folder. So the first week you should have chosen a curriculum topic study topic and also read the All About CTS scan. After the All About CTS scan, the next document that is available in the folder that you should definitely read if you haven't already is Steps to Completing a Curriculum Topic Study. This is designed to be a step-by-step guide of how you complete your CTS assignment. It begins with choosing your topic and printing the CTS guide for the topic you choose off of our course website. In case you haven't also done that already, when you scroll down, there is a whole folder called CTS Study Guides, and you will click and download, and I recommend you print and save the CTS Study Guide that goes with the topic you chose. Now, after you have that guide, you should collect information suggested on the guide in sections 1 through 4 and use the recording information from the CTS guide for your notes document as a guide on what information to focus on collecting from each document. That document is here, recording information from the CTS guide for your notes, and what it has been designed to do is tell you for the first section that will be due, which is adult content knowledge, there will be 2 resources used, Science for All Americans and Science Matters, and this is the information you should be pulling out of each one of those 2 sources about your topic. Back to the steps. There are many ways for you to collect this information. Some students choose to just copy and paste from online documents and then type copy from the in-print documents as their notes and then synthesize and paraphrase in the next step. Other students would rather paraphrase and synthesize the information from the sources as they read their notes. This is also fine and will save you time in step 5. What's really important, though, is that you do not submit your notes, that you do not submit something that has been copied and pasted from any of these websites. What you are doing is taking notes from these sources and then synthesizing them in paraphrasing into your own words and ideas with appropriate citations. Now, some of these resources are available online, and these are the links to them. And then, as noted in our course syllabus, there are 2 that are available only in print. That's Science Matters and Making Sense of Secondary Science. Those are available in the Georgia Southern Library or available really cheap online with used copies. Now, with Science Matters, there are 2 versions. If you're using the 2009 version of Science Matters, you'll need to use the Science Matters crosswalk document to figure out which pages to read in the newer edition. That is also available here, the Science Matters 2009 crosswalk. And the way you use that when you open it is you look at your topic, and basically it's saying ignore what was in your study guide and instead focus on this because the pages have changed in the 2009 edition of Science Matters. All right. You will also want to collect information from the AAA Assessment Bank. This is a new resource that's come out since the CTS guides were released, and I will cover those more in the Part 2 video because you don't use those until Part 2. Now, to begin creating your topic study, you'll use the notes you collected from the resources to begin a cohesive, informative essay on your topic. You should look at the Turning Your Notes into Your CTS for Submission document for details on what goes where. Let's look at that. Turning your notes into your CTS for submission. So it's very simple. I'm just trying to help everybody out. See the rubric for details of what to include in each section, but in the adult content knowledge section, you'll use information taken from the resources in section 1, the adult content knowledge. Okay. Now, to clarify, the CTS should be synthesized information about the teaching and learning of your chosen topic, showing understanding and continuity across the resources used. You should use the resources and cite them when used following APA format. While you can directly quote a source, the bulk of your essay should be your words, which you have paraphrased and summarized from the original source documents. Be sure to see the CTS rubric for details on what is inspected in each of the 3 main sections of your CTS. You will note that these categories do not match the 4 sections we used from the CTS guide. Therefore, you must use the information you collected and manipulate that information to meet requirements of the 3 sections of your CTS. Now, as you will need to synthesize the information from your sources to create your CTS, this website may be useful in outlining the steps of synthesis in writing, or this PDF elaborates on the difference between quotation, summary, paraphrase, and synthesis. I take plagiarism and academic dishonesty very serious at the master's level, so please make sure that you are quoting all of your sources appropriately, citing them when you're not quoting them, and making sure you never copy-paste. That's just not acceptable, especially at this level. And then you'll submit your CTS in 3 sections. You'll notice these dates are wrong. I will go fix that, sorry. But your adult content knowledge is due at the end of week 4. And then finally, a long time from now it seems, a few weeks, you'll be creating a digital poster for your CTS, and more information will be available on that later. A couple of other things I wanted to point out to you. The CTS is designed to be used for a variety of different reasons. We are using it to improve our science content knowledge. And as such, I've scanned a part of the CTS manual that explains why a CTS is useful to building understanding of content knowledge. And I know that's different than what we do a lot of our education classes where we're focused on teaching it and the lesson plan and the unit. This isn't about that at all. This is about what is the content so that you are able to teach it at an appropriate level. We all know what it's like to try to teach a lesson when we don't really understand and it doesn't work. We have to figure out ways that we as educators can teach ourselves the content we may have missed earlier. There's also a document called Anatomy of a CTS Study Guide. This is what your study guide will look like when you print it, and this is just an explanation of each one of those sections. The final thing I wanted to show you is the CTS Adult Content Knowledge Guiding Questions. These have been suggested by the people that designed the CTS as guiding questions as you're collecting your information. So for the adult content knowledge section, these are the big questions you should make sure you're answering in your essay, and then these are sub-questions that correlate with the 2 resources we are using in section A. I suggest you use those either when writing your paper or after your paper is written to evaluate your paper and make sure you've hit on all the key points. Now, there is also a folder within the curriculum topic study called Resources for Completing CTS, and that includes directions for using each one of these websites, as well as scanned copies of the NSCS Chapter 6 and the crosswalk that I mentioned earlier. Please, as questions arise, email me individually or use the discussion board so that we can talk about things together. As you see, the CTS discussion board currently has nothing going on, so please. You also have a sample CTS, and I will update the rubric, but it is the same as fall of 2013. So use that sample CTS sample CTS if you want to see what a complete good one looks like.